of day with old Troy of the DNP at the corner of Arbor Hill, and be damned but a bloody sweep came along and he near drove his gear into my eye. I turned around to let him have the weight of my tongue, when who should I see dodging along Stony Batter? Only Joe Hines. Hello, Joe. How are you blowing? Did you see that bloody chimney sweep near shove my eye out with his brush?
So, Slug, what are you doing around these parts?
Divil much. There's a bloody big foxy thief behind the garrison church at the corner of Chicken Lane. Lifted any god's quantity of tea and sugar to pay £3 a week. Said he had a farm in the country, down off a hop with my thumb by the name of Moses Herzog, over there near Haighesbury Street.
Circumcised?
Aye, a bit off the top. An old plumber named Geraghty. I'm hanging on to his toe for now, for the past night, and I can't get a penny out of him.
That's the lay you're on now.
Aye, how the mighty are fallen, collector of bad and doubtful debts. I couldn't get over that bloody foxy Geraghty, the daylight robber, for trading without a licence, is he.
Are you a strict DT?
Not taking anything between drinks.
What about paying our respects to our friend?
Sure, he's in John of God's off his head, poor man.
Drinking his own stuff?
Aye, whiskey, and water on the brain.
Then come into Barney Kiernan's. I want to see the citizen.
Barney Mavourning's be it. Anything strange or wonderful, Joe?
Not a word. I was up at the meeting in the City Arms.
What was that, Joe?
Cattle traders about to footing out the seas. I want to see the citizen to give him the hard word about it.
There he is in his glory hole, with his Krushkeen lawn and his load of papers, working for the cause.
And then deliver.
That's all right, citizen. Friends here.
Past friends, what's your opinion of the time?
I think the markets are on a rise.
Foreign wars is the cause of it.
It's the Russians wish to tyrannise.
I'll give over our bloody cotton, Joe. I've a thirst on me. I wouldn't sell for half a crown.
Give it a name, citizen.
Wine of the country.
What's yours?
Ditto, McAnespie.
3 pints, Terry. And how's the old heart, citizen?
Never better a carrot.
And there's more where that came from.
Were you robbing the poor box, Joe?
Sweat of me brow. 'Twas the prudent member Bloom gave me the wheeze.
I saw him before I met you, sloping around by Pill Lane and Greek Street, counting all the guts of the fish.
Look at this blasted rag. Look at this. The Irish Independent, if you please. Founded by Parnell to be the working man's friend. Listen to the births and deaths in the Irish, all for Ireland, independent, and I'll thank you. And the marriages. Redmayne of Iffley, St. Anne's on Sea, the wife of William T. Redmayne of a son. How's that, eh? Flint, Vincent Raha, Marion, or daughter of Rosa, and the late George Alfred Gillett, 179 Clapham Road, Stockwell, by the very Reverend Dr. Forrest, Dean of Worcester, eh? Deaths, Bristow, at Whitehall Lane, London, Carr, Stoke Newington of gastritis and heart disease, Holborn, and the Moat House, Chepstow.
Ah, well, thanks be to God they had the start of us. Drink that, citizen.
I will.
Health, Joe. Don't be talking. I was blue mouldy for the want of that pint. Declare to God I could hear it hit the pit of his stomach with a click.
Look at him out there. He's been traipsing all around Dublin with a postcard someone sent him with a UP up on it to take a
Take a what?
a libel action for £10,000.
Oh, hell.
Who? Who are you talking about, Bergen?
Breen. He was in John Henry Menton, and then he went round to Collison Wards, and then Tom Rochford met him and sent him round to the sub-sheriff, Lark. Oh, God, I've a pain laughing. UP up. The long fella gave him an eye as good as a process, and now the bloody old lunatic has gone round to Green Street to look for a G-man.
When is Long John going to get to hang the fella Mountjoy?
Bergen? Is that Alf Bergen?
Oh yes, hanging. Wait, Terry, give us a pony. That bloody old fool. UP.
Who are you laughing at? Is that Bergen?
What's that bloody Freemason doing prowling all up and down outside?
What's that?
Talk about hanging. I'll show you something you never saw. Hangman's letters. Look at here.
Are you cotton?
Honest Injun. Read them.
What are you laughing at, Bergen?
Tell us, how's Willie Murray these days, Alf?
I don't know. I saw him just now on Capel Street with Paddy Dignam. Only I was running after that.
You what? With who?
With Dignam.
Is it Paddy?
Yes, why?
Don't you know he's dead?
Paddy Dignam dead.
Aye.
Sure, after seeing him that 5 minutes ago, playing as a pikestaff.
Who's dead?
You saw his ghost then. God between us and all harm.
What? Christ. Only 5. What? And Willie Murray with him. The two of them there near the, what-you-call-him. What? Dignam dead?
What about Dignam? Who's talking about?
Dead. He's no more dead than you are.
Maybe so. They took the liberty of burying him this morning anyhow.
Paddy.
Aye. He paid the debt of nature. God be merciful to him.
Good Christ.
There he is again.
Who?
Bloom. He's on point duty. Up and down there for the last 10 minutes.
Good Christ, I could have sworn it was him.
Who said Christ was good?
I beg your parsnip.
Is that a good Christ to take away poor little Willie Dignam?
Ah, well, he's over his troubles.
He's a bloody ruffian, I say, to take away poor little Willie Dignam. the finest man, the finest, purest character.
The tear is bloody near his eye, talking through his bloody hat. Fitter for him to go home to the little sleepwalking bitch he married, Mooney, the bin bailiff's daughter, mother kept in Hardwick Street that used to be ravaging about the landings at 2 a.m. without a stitch on her, exposing her person upon to all comers, fair field and no favours.
The noblest, and he's gone. Poor little Willie, poor little Paddy Dignam.
Come in out of that.
Thank you.
Oh, Christ, McKeown, listen to this, will you? 7 Hunter Street, Liverpool, to the High Sheriff of Dublin. Honoured sir, I beg to offer my service in the above-mentioned painful case. I hanged Joe Gann in Bootle Jail on the 12th of February 1900. And I hanged James...
Show us, Joe.
Private Arthur Chancellor Fowle, murder of Jesse Tilsit in Pentonville Prison. And I was an assistant when he was...
Jesus.
Billington executed awful murderer Toad Smith. I have a special knack of putting on the noose. Once in, he can't get out. Hoping to be favoured, I remain. Honoured, sir, my terms is 5 guineas. H. Rumbled, Master Barber.
And a barbarous bloody barbarian he is too.
Hello, Bloom. What'll you have?
Oh, excuse me, nothing, thanks. No offence. Well, perhaps just a cigar.
Give us 3 of your prime stinkers there, Terry.
They're all barbers from the Black Country that would hang their own fathers for £5 down and travelling expenses. One chap sent in a mourning card with a black border around it. You'd know the assistants are waiting below. 2 fellas to pull down when he gets the drop, to choke him properly. Then they'd chop up the rope after and sell the bits for a few bob a skull.
I don't know if capital punishment has such a deterrent effect. If it has, why...
There's one thing it hasn't a deterrent effect on.
What's that?
The poor bugger's tool that's being hanged.
That's so.
God's truth. I heard that from the head warder that was in Kilmainham when they hanged Joe Brady, the Invincible. He told me when they cut him down after the drop, it was standing up in their faces like a poker.
Ruling passion strong in death, as someone said.
But that can be explained by science. It's only a natural phenomenon, don't you see? Because on account of...
Aye, the Invincibles and the old guard, the men of 67, they suffered all that for the cause.
Aye, for the cause. Of the New Ireland, all that fellows that were hanged, drawn and transported by drumhead court-martial.
Yes, but don't you see, all that history and hatred is no use. The point is...
The point is to be ready to die for your country as the brother Shears, Wolfthorne beyond and Arbour Hill died, and Robert Emmet who parted from Sarah Curran. How does Tommy Moore put it? Who fears to speak of 98?
Yes, but on the other hand...
In memory of the dead.
Aye.
You don't grasp my point. What I mean is...
Sinn Féin awarn. The friends we love are by our side and the foe we hate before us.
The new Ireland. The new Gaelic Ireland.
Aye, the Shoneen that can't speak their own language. The corporation meeting to discuss whether our own Gaelic language should be used in municipal proceedings. What do you think of that?
Yes, the Gaelic League is excellent, but what Ireland needs is an anti-treating league, for drink is the curse of Ireland.
Anti-treating is about the size of it. He'd let you pour all manner of drink down his throat till the Lord would call him before you would see the froth of his pint. Gaelic entertainment. One night I went in with a fellow into one of the musical evenings, song and dance about how she could get up on the truss of the hay. She could be Maureen Lay. And there was a fellow with a ballyhooly blue ribbon badge spiffing out of him in Irish, and a lot of Colleen Bones going about with temperance beverages medals, oranges and lemonade and a few old dry buns. Flahoolok entertainment, don't be talking. And then an old fellow starts blowing into his bagpipes, and all the gougers shuffling their feet to the tune of the old cow died of. Don't be talking. Ireland sober is Ireland free.
Are you sure you won't have something in the way of a liquid refreshment, Bloom?
Thank you. No, as a matter of fact, I just wanted to meet Martin Cunningham, don't you see, about this insurance of poor Dignam's. Martin asked me to go to the house. You see, he, Dignam, did not serve any notice of assignment on the company at the time, and nominally under the Act, the mortgagee can't recover the policy.
Ah, holy word. That's a good one if the old Shylock has landed. His wife comes out top dog, huh?
Well, that's a point for the wife's admirers.
Whose admirers?
The wife's advisors, The mortgagor under the Act, you see, it's for the benefit of the wife. But on the other hand, Dignam did owe Bridgman the money, and now if the wife contested the mortgagee's right...
Mr. Bloom, tell Mrs. Dignam that I'm sorry for our trouble. I'm very sorry that I didn't know about the funeral. Tell her that everyone who knew him said that there was never a truer or finer than poor little Willie.
I shall indeed. Yes, certainly.
Let me shake your hand, Mr. Bloom. You'll know how to express my feelings. I would feel myself quite inadequate to the occasion. Goodbye, Mr. Bloom.
Look at him trying to walk straight. Boozed at 5 o'clock. Then see him of a Sunday with his little concubine of a wife, and she wagging her tail up the aisle of the chapel with her patent boots on her, no less, and her violets, nice as pie, doing the little lady.
Aye, Jack Mooney's sister and the old prostitute of a mother procuring rooms to street couples. God, Jack made Bob toe the line. Told me he didn't patch up the pot. He kicked the shite out of him.
Who was the long fella running for the mayoralty? Alf?
A friend of yours?
None in the member?
I won't mention any names.
I thought so. I saw him up at that meeting with William Field, MP, the cattle traders.
Harry Lopez, the exploded volcano, the darling of all countries and the idol of his own.
In fact, I dropped in here to give you the hard word about the foot and mouth disease. The cattle traders at the meeting in the City Arms agreed to take no action on the matter.
It was time for them.
Foot and mouth disease. I know sheep dip is recommended for the scab and a hoose drench for the coughing calves, a guaranteed cure for ting batong, but above all, humane methods, because the poor animals suffer. Experts say to use the best known remedy that does not cause pain to the animals. On the sore spot, administer gently.
Gob, he'd have a soft hand under a hen.
Anyhow, Field and Annette are going over tonight to London to ask about it on the floor of the House of Commons.
Are you sure the councillor is going? I wanted to see him as it happens.
Well, He's going by mailboat tonight.
That's too bad. I wanted particularly. Perhaps only Mr. Field is going.
Nannan's going too. The league told him to ask a question tomorrow about the commissioner of police forbidding Irish games in the park. What do you think of that, citizen? The slew and a heron. There's the man that made Gaelic sports revival. There he is, sitting there. The man that got away, James Stevens, the champion of all of Ireland at putting the 16-pound shot. What was your best throw, citizen?
Nah, backlash. There was a time I was as good as the next fellow anyhow.
Put it there, citizen. You were, and a bloody sight better.
Is that really a fact? About the police, I mean.
Yes, that's well known. Do you not know that?
Doing Irish games, are they? So well they might. Because Irish sports and pastimes, hurling, putting the shot, sports racy of the soil, that's the way to build a nation. Not show-name games the like of lawn tennis.
But violent exercise could be bad for some people. I heard of a fellow that had a rower's heart, for example. Whereas in lawn tennis...
Must be the task of Slúin na hÉireann to revive our Gaelic sports and show the importance of physical culture as it was understood in ancient Greece and Rome and in ancient Ireland.
Aye, citizen, the Gaelic sports and pastimes is practiced morning and evening by Finn McCool. That's the way to build a nation again.
Talking about violent exercise, were you at the Keogh Bennett match?
No.
I heard so-and-so made a cool £100 over it.
Who? Blazes?
What I mean about lawn tennis is the agility and the training of the eye.
Aye, Blaze is boiling. He let out that Myler was on the beer all the time to run up the odds, and he's swatting all the time.
We know him, the traitor's son. We know what put English gold into his pocket.
True for you.
Lawn tennis is good for the circulation of the blood. Don't you think so, Bergen?
Myler dusted the floor with him, handed him the father and mother of a beating. God, he gave him one last puck in the wind. Queensberry rules and all, made him puke what he never ate. Oh, Blazes knows which side his bread is buttered. I hear he's running a concert tour now, up in the north.
He is, isn't he?
Who? Oh, yes, that's true. Yes, a kind of summer tour, you see, just a holiday.
Mrs. B is the bright particular star, isn't she?
My wife, she's singing, yes. I think it will be a success too. He's an excellent man to organise. Excellent.
Oh, big gob. Blaze is doing the tootle on the flute. Concert tour, Moya. That's the buckle that'll organise her. Take my tip.
Hello, Ned.
Hello, Alf.
Hello, Joe.
God save you, Jack.
Save you kindly. What'll it be, Ned?
A half one.
2 half ones, Terry.
Were you at the courts?
Yes. He'll square that, Ned.
Hope so.
Did you see that bloody lunatic Breen round there? UP up.
Yes. Looking for a private detective.
Aye. He wants to go wrong to address the court. Only Corny Keller got round to him, telling him to get the handwriting examined first.
£10,000. God, I'd give that to hear him before a judge and jury.
Was it you did it, Alf? The whole truth. The whole truth, so help you, Jimmy Johnson.
Me? Don't cast your nasturtiums on my character.
Whatever statement you will be taken down will be used in evidence against you.
Of course an action would lie. It implies he's not compos mentens. You be up.
Compass your eye. Don't you know that he's balmy? Look at his head. Do you know that some mornings he has to get his hat on with a shoehorn?
Yes, but the truth of a libel is no defense to an indictment for publishing it in the eyes of the law.
Alf.
Still, on account of the poor woman, I mean his wife.
Pity about her, or any other woman marries a half and half.
How half and half? Do you mean her?
Half and half is what I mean. A fellow that's neither fish nor flesh.
Nor a good red herring.
That's what I mean. A pichot, if you know what that is.
I mean on account of it being cruel for the wife, having to go around with that poor lunatic.
And moreover, a postcard is publication. It was held to be sufficient evidence of malice in the test case Sadgrove versus Hole. In my opinion, an action might lie.
Good health, Jack.
Good health, Ned.
How did the Canada swindle case go off?
Remanded.
Which case was that?
One of the bottlenose fraternity it was, went by the name of James Watt, alias Saphiro, alias Spark and Spyro. Put an ad in the paper saying he'd give passage to Canada for 20 bob. Of course, it was a bloody Barney, what? Swindle them all. Skivvies and baddocks from the county Meath.
Yes, and his own people too. There was an ancient Hebrew weeping in the witness box with his hat on him, swearing by the holy Moses he was stuck for 2 quid.
Who tried that case?
Recorder.
Poor old Sir Frederick. You can cut him up to the 2 eyes.
Heart as big as a lion. Tell him a tale of woe about arrears of rent and a sick wife and a squad of kids, and faith, he'll dissolve in tears on the bench.
Aye, Reuben J was bloody lucky he didn't clap him in the dock the other day for suing poor little Gumley that's minding stones for the corporation there near Buff Bridge. A most scandalous thing. The poor hard-working man. How many children? 10, did you say? Yes, your worship, and my wife has the typhoid. And a wife with typhoid fever. Scandalous. Leave the court immediately, sir. No, sir, I make no order for payment. How dare you, sir, come up before me and ask me to make an order? A poor, hard-working, industrious man. I dismiss the case.
These are nice things coming over here to Ireland, filling the country with bugs.
You needn't trouble about that little matter till the 1st of the month. But just say the word to Mr. Crawford, because you see, for an advertisement, you must have repetition. That's the whole secret.
Rely on me.
Swindling the peasants and the poor of Ireland. We want no more strangers in our house.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be all right, Hines. It's just that keys, you see.
Consider that done.
Very kind of you.
No strangers. Our own fault. We let them come in. We brought them. The adulteress and her paramour brought the Saxon Robert here. A dishonoured wife. That's what's the cause of all our misfortune.
And here she is in all her war paint.
Give us a squint at her. Misconduct of Society Belle. Norman W. Tupper, wealthy Chicago contractor, finds pretty but faithless wife in the lap of Officer Taylor.
Oh, Jakers, Jenny, how short your shirt is.
Get a queer old tail end of a corned beef off that one, huh?
Here's Nolan now with the latest, Citizen.
Well, what's the news from the scene of action? What did those tinkers in the City Hall at their caucus meeting decide about the Irish language?
The matter is still under discussion, Citizen.
It's on the march. To hell with the bloody brutal Sassenachs and their patois.
Oh, come, citizen. You can't draw up a bill of attainder to impeach a nation.
Yes, after all, their language is no patois. Look how they have spread their word and civilization in the colonies all over the world.
Their civilization, you mean? To hell with them. No music and no art and no literature worthy of the name. Any civilization they have, they stole from us. Tongue-tied sons of bastards' ghosts.
The European family.
They're not European. I was in Europe with Kevin Egan of Paris. You wouldn't see a trace of them or their language anywhere in Europe except in a cabinet d'essence.
Full many a flower is born to blush unseen.
Conspuez les Anglais, perfide Albion.
What's up with you? You look like a fellow that had lost a bob and found a tanner.
Gold Cup,
Who won, Lenihan?
throw away at 21. A rank outsider. And the rest, nowhere.
And Bass's mayor?
Oh, still running. We're all in a card. Boylan punched 2 quid on my tip sceptre for himself and a lady friend.
I'd half a crown myself and Finn found out that Nosy Flynn gave me. Lord Howard de Walden.
20-1. Such is life in an outhouse. Throw away. Takes the biscuit and talking about bunions. Frailty, thy name is sceptre.
Keep your pecker up. She'd have won the money only for the other dog.
People won't see the lessons of history if they put their Nelson's blind eye to the telescope.
Well, some people can see the mote in others' eyes, but they can't see the beam in their own.
Oh, Mish, there's no one so blind as the fellow that won't see, if you know what that means. Where our missing 20 millions of Irish should be here today instead of 4, our lost tribes. And our potteries and textiles the finest in the whole world. And our wool that was sold in Rome in the time of Juvenal and our flax and our damask from the looms of Antrim, and our Limerick lace, our canneries, and our white flint glass down there by Ballybop, and our Huguenot poplin that we have since Jacquard de Leon, and our woven silk, and our Foxford tweeds, and ivory raised point from the Carmelite convent in Euros, nothing like it in the whole wide world. What do the Yellow Johns of Anglia owe us for our ruined trade and our ruined hearts? And the beds of the Barrow and the Shannon they won't deepen with millions of acres of marsh and bog to make us all die of consumption.
As treeless as Portugal will be sooner Heliga land with its one tree if something is not done to reforest the land. Larches, firs, all the trees of the conifer family are going fast. I was reading a report of Lord Castletown's.
Save them. The giant ash of Galway and the chieftain elm of Kildare with a 40-foot bole and an acre of foliage. Save the trees of Ireland for the future men of Ireland and the fair hills of Éire.
Europe has its eyes on you.
And our eyes are on Europe. We had trade with Spain and the French and with the Flemings before those mongrels were pupped.
And will again.
And with the help of our Holy Mother of God, we will again. Our harbours that are empty will be full again. Queenstown, Kinsale, Blacksod Bay, Bantry in the Kingdom of Kerry, Killybegs, the third largest harbour in the wide world, with the fleet of mass of the Galway Lynches and the Cavan O'Reilly and the O'Kennedys of Dublin, when the Earl of Desmond could make a treaty with the Emperor Charles V himself. And will again, when the first Irish battleship is seen breasting the waves with our own flag to the floor, the oldest flag afloat, the flag of the province of Desmond and Thomond, 3 crowns on a blue field, the 3 sons of Malicious.
Hear, hear to that. What will you have?
All wind and piss like a tannered cat. As much as his bloody life is worth to go down and address his tall talk to the assembled multitude in Shannagolden. He dared show his nose there with the Molly Maguires looking for him to let daylight through him for grabbing the holding of an evicted tenant.
But, citizen, what about the fighting navy that keeps our foes at bay?
I'll tell you what about it. Hell upon earth it is. Read the revelations that's going on in the papers about flogging on the training ships at Portsmouth. A fellow writes to cause himself Disgusted One. There they are, the crew of tars drawn up on the deck, and officers in the cropped hats, and a parson with his Bible to witness the punishment, and a young lad is brought, howling for his ma, and they tie him down on the butt end of a gun. A rum and dozen was what that old ruffian Sir John Beresford called it, but the modern God's Englishman calls it caning on the breach.
'Tis a custom more honoured in the breach than in the observance.
Then the master at arms comes along with a long cane, and he draws out and flogs the bloody backside of the poor lad till he yells, "May you murder." That's your glorious British Navy that bosses the earth. The fellows that never will be slaves of the only hereditary chamber on the face of God's earth, and their land in the hands of a dozen game hogs and cotton ball barons. That's the great empire they boast about, of grudges and whipped serfs.
On which the sun never rises.
And the tragedy is, they believe it. The unfortunate Yahoos believe it.
But isn't discipline the same everywhere? I mean, wouldn't it be the same if you put force against force?
We'll put force against force. We have our greater Ireland beyond the sea. They were driven out of house and home in the Black 47. The mud cabins and their sheilings by the roadside were laid low by the battering ram, and the Times rubbed its hands and told the white-livered Saxons there would soon be as few Irish in Ireland as the Redskins in America. Even the Grand Turk sent us his piastres. But the Sassenach tried to starve the nation at home while the land was full of crops that the British hyenas bought and sold in Rio de Janeiro. Aye, they drove out the peasants in hordes. 20,000 of them died in the coffin ships. But what those that came to the land of the free remember, the land of bondage. And they will come again with a vengeance. No Cravens, the sons of Granula, the champions of Cathleen Houlihan.
Oh, Perfectly true. But my point was...
We're a long time waiting for that day, citizen. Since the poor old woman told us that the French were on the sea and landed at Killala.
Aye, we fought for the royal stewards who reneged against us, against the Willamites, and they betrayed us. Remember Limerick and the broken treaty stone? We gave our best blood to France and Spain, the wild geese, Fontenay, and Sarsfield and O'Donnell, Duke of Twente in Spain, and Ulysses Brown of Camas. It was Field Marshal to Maria Theresa. But what did we ever get for it?
The French, set of dancing masters. Do you know what it is? They were never worth our roasted fat to Ireland. Aren't they trying to make an entente cordiale now at Tépé's dinner party with perfidious Albion? Firebrands of Europe, and they always were.
And as for the Prussians and the Hanoverians, haven't we had enough of those sausage-eating bastards on the throne from George the Elector down to that German lad and that flatulent old bitch that's dead?
We have Edward the Peacemaker now.
Tell that to a fool. There's a bloody sight more pox than pax about that boyo, Edward Gelf Wetton.
And what do you think of the holy boys? The priests and bishops of Ireland doing up his room in Minute in his satanic majesty's racing colours and sticking up pictures of all the horses his jockeys rode. The Earl of Dublin, no less.
They ought to have stuck up all the women he rode himself.
Considerations of space influence their lordship's decision.
Persecution. All the history of the world is full of it, perpetuating national hatred among nations.
But do you know what a nation means?
A nation? A nation is the same people living in the same place.
By God, then, if that's so, I'm a nation, for I'm living in the same place for the last 5 years.
Or also living in different places.
That covers my case.
What is your nation, if I may ask?
Ireland. I was born here, Ireland. I belong to a race, too, that is hated and persecuted. Also now, this very moment, this very instant, robbed, plundered, insulted, persecuted, taking what belongs to us by right, at this very moment sold by auction off in Morocco like slaves and cattle.
Are you talking about the New Jerusalem?
I'm talking about injustice.
Right. Stand up to it then with force, like men.
But it's no use. Force, hatred, history, all that. That's not life for men and women, insult and hatred. And everybody knows it's the opposite of that that is really life.
What?
Love. I mean the opposite of hatred. I must go now. Just around to the court a moment to see if Martin is there. If he comes, just say I'll be back in a second. Just a moment.
Who's hindering you?
A new apostle to the Gentiles, universal love.
Well, isn't that what we're told? Love your neighbours.
That chap, beggar my neighbour is his motto. Love my He's a nice pattern of Romeo and Juliet. We know these cantors, preaching and picking your pocket. What about sanctimonious Cromwell and his Ironsides that put the women and children of Drogheda to the sword with the Bible text, God is love, pasted around the mouth of his cannon? The Bible. Did you read that skit in the United Irishman today about that Zulu chief that's visiting England?
What's that?
A delegation of the chief cotton magnates of Manchester was presented yesterday to His Majesty the Alakai of Abiakutu by Goldstick in waiting Lord Walkup on eggs, to tender to His Majesty the heartfelt thanks of British traders for the facilities afforded to them in his dominions. The delegation partook of luncheon, at the conclusion of which the dusky potentate, in the course of a happy speech, freely translated by the British chaplain, the Reverend Anane, praise God, Barebones, tendered his best thanks to Massa Walkup and emphasized the cordial relations existing between Abiakutu and the British Empire, stating that he had treasured as one of his dearest possessions an illuminated Bible, the volume of the Word of God and the secret of England's greatness, graciously presented to him by the white chief woman, the great Squaw Victoria, with a personal dedication from the august hand of the royal donor. The Alakai then drank a loving cup of first shot Ishkaba to the toast, black and white, from the skull of his immediate predecessor in the dynasty Kakachachachakachak, surnamed 40 Watts, after which he visited the chief factory of cotton police and signed his mark in the visitor's book, subsequently executing an old Abiakutic war dance in the course of which he swallowed several knives and forks amid hilarious applause from the girl hand.
Well, if they're any worse than those Belgians in the Congo Free State, they must be bad. Did you read that report by a man? What's his name is?
Casement, he's an Irishman.
Yes, that's the man. Raping the women and girls and flogging the natives on the belly to squeeze all the red rubber they can out of them.
Oh, I know where he's gone.
Who?
The guardhouse is blind. He had a field bob and throw away, and he's gone to gather the shekels.
Is it that white-eyed Kaffir that never backed a horse in anger in his life?
That's where he's gone. I met Bantam Lyons going to back that horse, only I put him off it, and he told me Bloom gave him the tip. Bet you what you like, he has 100 shillings to 5 on. He's the only man in Dublin that has it. A dark horse.
He's a bloody dark horse himself.
Talking about dark horses.
Talking about dark horses. I declare to be antimacassar if you took up a straw from the bloody floor and you said to Bloom, look at that, Bloom. Do you see that straw? That's a straw. I declare to my aunt he'd talk about it for an hour, so he would, and talk steady.
Say what you like. I know it was Bloom who gave Griffith the idea for Sinn Féin to put in the United Irishmen.
You mean the gerrymandering, packed juries and swindling taxes off the government and appointing consuls all over the world to walk about selling Irish industries?
Yes, it was.
Give us a bloody chance. God save Ireland from the likes of that bloody nice boat. Gobby's like Lanty McHale's goat that'd go a piece off the road with everyone.
Well, it's a fact. And there's the man now that'll tell you about it. Martin Cunningham.
Where's Bloom?
Where is he? Defrauding widows and orphans.
Martin, isn't that a fact? What I was telling the citizen about Bloom and Sinn Féin and Arthur Griffith?
That's so, or so they allege.
Who made those allegations?
I'm the alligator.
And after all, why can't a Jew love his country like the next fellow?
Why not? When he's quite sure which country it is.
Is he a Jew, or a Gentile, or a Holy Roman, or a swaddler, or what the hell is he?
He's a perverted Jew from a place in Hungary, and it was he threw up all the plans according to the Hungarian system. We know that in the castle.
Isn't he a cousin of Bloom, the dentist?
No, not at all. Only namesakes. His name was Virak. The father's name. That poisoned himself. He changed it by deed, Paul, the father did.
That's the new Messiah for Ireland, island of saints and sages.
Well, they're still waiting for their Redeemer. For that matter, so are we.
Yes, and every male that's born, they think it may be their Messiah. And every Jew is in a tall state of excitement, I believe, till he knows if he's a father or a mother.
Expecting every moment will be his nest.
Oh, by God, you should have seen Bloom before that son of his that died was born. I met him one day in the South City markets buying a tin of Neve's food 6 weeks before the wife was delivered.
En ventre sa mère.
Call that a man.
I wonder did he ever put it out of sight?
Well, there were 2 children born anyhow.
And who does he suspect?
Gob, there's many a true word spoken in jest.
Charity to the neighbour. Where is he?
A wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what he is. Virag from Hungary.
Have you time for a brief libation, Martin?
Only one. We must be quick. JJ&S.
A half one, Terry.
And Patrick would want to land again at Ballykinlar and convert us after allowing things like that to contaminate our shores.
Well, God bless all here is my prayer.
Amen.
And I'm sure he will.
Right, and butter for fish.
Oh, Martin, I was just round at the courthouse looking of you. I hope I'm not.
Courthouse, my eye, and your pockets hanging down with gold and silver. Mean bloody scut, wouldn't stand a drink itself. Devil a sweet fare, there's a Jew for you. All for number one, cute as a shithouse rat, 100 to 5.
Don't tell anyone.
I beg your pardon?
Ah, come on, boys. Come along now, Bloom.
Don't tell anyone. It's a secret.
Off with you. Bye-bye, all.
The curse of Cromwell on him.
Mendelssohn was a Jew, and Karl Marx, and Mercadante, and Spinoza, and the Saviour was a Jew, and his father was a Jew. Your God.
He had no father. That'll do now.
Who's God?
Well, his uncle was a Jew. Your God was a Jew. Christ was a Jew, like me.
Jesus, I'll brain that bloody Jewman for using the holy name. By Jesus, I'll crucify him, so I will. Give us that biscuit box there.
Stop! Stop!
Where is he? Till I murder him.
Bloody wars! I'll be in for the last gospel.
Hold on, citizen. Stop!
Be gob if he got that lottery ticket on the side of his pole, he'd remember the gold cup, so he would. You'd have been lagged for assault and battery, and you, Joe, for aiding and abetting.
Did I kill him or what?
There he is on that bloody car, round in the corner and gesticulating. 100 to 5, throw away, gold cup. Jesus, you took the value of it out of him, that's for sure.